Something strange is happening in Las Vegas. The budget casinos, the ones most tourists don't even know exist, are having the best year in their history. Red Rock Resorts just posted their highest quarterly revenue in 49 years. Not their best quarter this year, their best quarter ever. In nearly 5 decades of business, Boyd Gaming is up 50% at their locals casinos. Downtown Las Vegas just finished its 4th consecutive record-breaking year. Meanwhile, on the famous Las Vegas Strip, Caesars Entertainment lost $82 million last quarter. MGM's revenue dropped 4%. Room rates have crashed 30% midweek. Hotels that used to sell out for $200 a night now going for $18. $18 for a room on the Las Vegas Strip. Same city, same tourists, same economy, completely opposite results. Cheap Vegas isn't just surviving, it's thriving. And the reason why reveals something the Strip desperately doesn't want you to understand. If you want to know where Vegas is actually headed and where the smart money is going, hit subscribe. We follow the numbers, not the marketing, not the hype, the actual data that tells you what's really happening. Because these numbers tell a story the casinos don't want told. Let's start with the numbers that should be impossible. Red Rock Resorts Q2 2025. Revenue, $526.3 million. Status, highest in 49-year history. Year over year, up 8.2%. Red Rock Resorts, they own station casinos. The Red Rock Casino, Green Valley Ranch, the brand new Durango just posted $526 million in quarterly revenue, the highest in their 49-year history. Their new Durango Casino has added over 108,000 new customers since opening in December 2023. 108,000 people who discovered that Las Vegas exists outside the Strip. Boyd Gaming Locals Casinos, UP 50%. First year-over-year growth in 2 years. Red Rock plus Boyd plus downtown equals all thriving. And it's not just Red Rock. Boyd Gaming, they own Sam's Town, Suncoast. The Orleans reported their first year-over-year growth in 2 years. Some of their locals properties are up 50%. While the Strip shrinks, the budget casinos are exploding. Same tourists, same city, different choices. Budget casinos setting records. Strip casinos losing millions. The obvious conclusion is that the Strip is dying, right? But here's what's strange. The true luxury casinos, Wynn, Venetian, Bellagio, they're doing fine. Some are pacing toward their best year ever. So if cheap Vegas is booming and luxury Vegas is thriving, who exactly is dying? Cheap Vegas, record profits, true luxury, fine. So who's bleeding? The answer explains everything happening in Las Vegas right now. Here's what nobody's telling you about Vegas right now. The story isn't Strip versus downtown. It isn't tourists versus locals. The real story is that Vegas has split into 3 completely different markets. Tier 1, cheap Vegas, thriving. Tier 2, true luxury, fine. Tier 3, the middle, dying. Tier 1, cheap Vegas. The locals casinos, downtown, the off-strip properties, they're thriving, record profits. Record customers, best years ever. Tier 2, true luxury, Wynn, Venetian, Bellagio, they're doing fine, pacing toward records themselves, no crisis there. Tier 3, the middle, the mid-tier strip properties, Flamingo, Link, Harrah's, Excalibur, Luxor, Paris. That's where the bleeding is happening, and the numbers are brutal. Q4 2025 strip room rates. Overall, down 12%. Luxury properties, down 9%. Mid and lower tier, down 27%. Midweek at mid-tier, down 36%. Look at the room rate data. Overall, strip rates are down 12%, but break it down by tier and you see the real story. Luxury properties, down 9%, manageable. Mid and lower tier properties, down 27%, 3 times worse. Midweek at mid-tier MGM properties, down 36%. That's not a soft market, that's a collapse. Flamingo midweek rate, $18 a night. That's not a deal, that's desperation. The Flamingo, a hotel on the Las Vegas Strip, has rooms going for $18 a night. $18. That's less than parking at some strip casinos. That's not a promotional rate, that's a fire sale. Q2 2025. same quarter, same city. Caesars Entertainment, Las Vegas revenue down 3.7%. Net result, $82 million loss. Red Rock Resorts, revenue up 8.2%. Result, record profits. Same quarter, same city, same tourists walking around Las Vegas. Caesars Entertainment, one of the biggest names on the Strip, lost $82 million. Their Las Vegas revenue dropped 3.7%. Same exact quarter, Red Rock Resorts posted their best numbers in 49 years, up 8%. Record profits. Caesars owns Flamingo, Link, Harrah's, Paris, Horseshoe, Planet Hollywood. The middle of the market. Not true luxury, not true budget. And they're getting crushed. Look at what Caesars owns. Flamingo, Link, Harrah's, Paris, Horseshoe. These aren't luxury properties. They're not competing with Wynn, but they're not budget either. They're stuck in the middle, and the middle is where the bleeding is. But here's the twist that changes everything. Wynn Resorts, slightly UP, pacing toward record room nights. Venetian CEO, best year ever. Bellagio, 94 to 96% occupancy. True luxury, not struggling. Wynn just reported their Las Vegas operations are slightly UP. They're pacing toward a record year in room nights. The Venetian, their CEO told Nevada regulators they're pacing toward their best year ever. Bellagio is running 94 to 96% occupancy. Their average daily rate is $380, way above the Strip average of $230. True luxury isn't struggling at ALL. So cheap Vegas is setting records. True luxury is having their best years, and the middle of the Strip is losing $82 million and selling rooms for $18. This isn't random. This isn't the economy. This isn't politics. The middle made a choice that's now destroying them. The middle tried to become luxury. They raised prices. They forgot to raise the experience. They tried to charge like Wynn, but they forgot to feel like Wynn. And tourists figured it out, so what exactly did the middle tier do wrong? They fell into a trap. They looked at Wynn charging $400 a night and thought, we should charge more too. So they raised prices, added resort fees, started charging for parking, jacked up table minimums. 2015 mid-tier Strip rate, about $89 a night. 2024 mid-tier Strip rate, about $175 a night. Plus resort fee, $52 a night. Total, $227 a night. Price increase, 155%. 10 years ago, a mid-tier Strip hotel cost around $90 a night. Today, that same room, maybe with new carpet and a fresh coat of paint, costs $175 plus a $52 resort fee. $227 total. They raised prices by 155%. But did the experience improve by 155%? Did the rooms become luxury? Did the service become world class? No. The price became luxury. The experience stayed budget. And here's the part that really burns. They didn't just raise prices, they also cut costs. At the same time, concierges eliminated. Contact centers gutted. 90% gone at some properties. Front desk staff reduced. Housekeeping scaled back, replaced with kiosks, chatbots, QR codes. They eliminated concierges, gutted contact centers, 90% gone at some properties, reduced front desk staff, scaled back housekeeping, replaced human beings with kiosks and chatbots and QR codes that send you to a website. So they're charging you more money for less service and calling it an upgrade. Their plan, charge more plus cut costs equals higher profits. The problem, tourists have options, and they're using them. Their plan was simple, charge more, cut costs, keep the difference. And it worked for a while, but then tourists started noticing. They started comparing. They started choosing alternatives. Now compare that to what actual luxury does. Wynn CEO Craig Billings. We are unapologetic about premium pricing, but we don't ambush patrons with unexpected charges. Our minibar prices are a fraction of some others. Hotel guests park free. Wynn's CEO said something revealing. Quote, while we are unapologetic about premium pricing, we don't ambush patrons with unexpected charges. Our minibar prices are a fraction of some others in the market. He also mentioned that hotel guests at Wynn park free, at a luxury property charging $400 a night. Meanwhile, mid-tier properties are charging $40 a day for parking on top of their resort fees. Win, charge premium, deliver premium. Mid-tier, charge premium, deliver budget. One is honest, one is a trap. Win charges more than the mid-tier strip, but they deliver. You know what you're paying for. You get what you're paying for. There's no bait and switch. The mid-tier strip charges like Win, but feels like a bus station with slot machines. And tourists finally figured out the difference. So tourists faced a choice. Option A, cheap Vegas, budget prices, budget experience, but honest. You know what you're getting. Free parking, low minimums, fair games, real value. Option B, true luxury, premium prices, premium experience. Also, honest. You pay a lot, you get a lot. Worth it if you can afford it. Option C, the middle, premium prices, budget experience. Dishonest. You pay for luxury, you get flamingo with a $52 fee tacked on. Real value or real luxury. Pick one. The middle is a trap. Tourists stopped falling for option C, they picked sides. And the numbers show exactly where they went. So where did all those tourists go? Follow the money. Strip visitation, down 12%. Strip occupancy, down to 66%. Downtown gaming revenue, up 11.6%. Locals casino revenue, up 8 to 50%. True luxury occupancy, still above 90%. Strip visitation down 12%. Occupancy crashed to 66%. That means 1 in 3 rooms sitting empty on the famous Las Vegas Strip. But downtown gaming revenue, up 11.6%. Locals, casinos, up 8 to 50% depending on the property. True luxury occupancy, still above 90%. The tourists didn't disappear. They didn't stop coming to Vegas. They redistributed. They left the middle and went to the edges, to cheap, to luxury, to anywhere except the fake luxury trap. So what exactly does cheap Vegas offer that's pulling tourists away from the Strip? Free parking versus $25 to $70 a day on Strip. No resort fees versus $44 to $60 a night. Table minimums $5 to $15 versus $25 to $100 on Strip. Blackjack, real 3 to 2 versus 6 to 5 on Strip. Craps odds, up to 20x versus 345x. Gaming floors, less crowded. Service, actual humans. Free parking, not $25 to $70 a day like the Strip. Free, $0. Walk in with the same money you drove in with. No resort fees, or minimal ones. The price you see is the price you pay. No $52 surprise at checkout for the privilege of existing in the building. Table minimums of $5 to $15. Not the $50 to $100 minimums that turn gambling into an anxiety attack. You can actually sit down and play without betting your mortgage payment. Real 3 to 2 blackjack, not the 6 to 5 garbage the Strip pushed to squeeze extra profit. The actual game, the fair rules, the way blackjack is supposed to be played. Less crowded floors, dealers who talk to you, bartenders who remember what you're drinking, an experience that feels like a vacation instead of an extraction operation. And here's proof this isn't just existing customers shuffling around. Durango Casino opened December 2023. New customers added over 108,000. Red Rock CFO expanding the Las Vegas locals market. Translation, creating new demand. Durango Casino opened December 2023. In 18 months, they've added over 108,000 new customers. Not customers they stole from the Strip, new customers who didn't know this Vegas existed. Red Rock CFO said Durango is expanding the Las Vegas locals market and attracting new guests. They're not just taking market share from the mid-tier Strip, they're growing the total market, creating demand that didn't exist before. People are discovering that Las Vegas exists beyond the 4 miles of the Strip. That you can gamble, eat, drink, and have an incredible time without paying luxury prices for budget experiences. And once they discover it, they don't go back to the trap. Cheap Vegas is thriving because it delivers value, honest pricing, fair games, real service. You get what you pay for. True luxury is stable because it delivers experience, premium everything, worth it for those who can afford it. The middle is dying because it delivers neither. They want luxury money for budget service. And tourists finally have the information to see through it. Value works, luxury works, Fake luxury is dying. But here's the real question. Will the mid-tier strip figure this out before it's too late, or are they going to keep squeezing until there's nobody left to squeeze? Why cheap Vegas is outselling luxury Vegas. Here's what finally killed the mid-tier strip's game. The old model. Charge more, cut costs, keep the difference. It worked because tourists didn't know better. Vegas was Vegas. You paid whatever they charged. For years, mid-tier strip properties could charge whatever they wanted. Vegas was Vegas. You saved up, you flew in, you paid the prices. You didn't comparison shop. You didn't know there were alternatives. You just dealt with it. Then came social media exposing the fees, reviews calling out the gaps, viral posts about $26 water bottles, Reddit threads comparing value, tourists talking to each other. Then social media happened, reviews happened, viral posts about $26 water bottles at the pool happened, Reddit threads comparing the strip to downtown happened, TikToks showing what $18 at Fremont gets you versus $200 on the strip. Tourists started talking to each other, sharing information, warning each other. Suddenly everyone knew about the resort fees before they booked. Everyone knew about the parking charges. Everyone knew the cheap casinos existed. The information asymmetry that let the mid-tier strip overcharge, it's gone. Tourists can see through it now. And once they can see through it, they stop paying for it. So what happens next? The mid-tier strip has 3 options. Option A, race to value. Cut prices to compete with budget. Eliminate resort fees. Free parking. Lower minimums. Become what cheap Vegas is. They could race to value. Actually compete on price with downtown and locals casinos. Drop the resort fees. Make parking free. Lower the minimums. Become affordable again. Option B, race to quality. Invest in the experience. Renovate rooms to match prices. Hire back staff. Deliver actual luxury. Justify the premium. They could race to quality. Actually invest in the experience. Renovate rooms to match the prices they're charging. Hire back the staff they cut. Deliver something that justifies the premium. Become actual luxury. Option C, keep dying. Current trajectory. Keep raising prices. Keep cutting staff. Keep adding fees. Keep hoping tourists don't notice. Result, they noticed, they left. Or they can keep doing what they're doing. Keep raising prices. Keep cutting staff. Keep adding fees. Keep hoping tourists are too dumb to notice. Right now, they're choosing option C, and the tourists have already noticed, and they're already leaving. Cheap Vegas is outselling mid-tier Vegas because cheap Vegas is honest. They promise value, they deliver value, free parking, fair games, real service, no hidden fees. You know exactly what you're getting, and you get it. True Luxury is doing fine because they're honest too. They promise an experience, they deliver an experience. You pay a premium, and it's worth it. The mid-tier strip is dying because they're not honest. They promise luxury, they deliver budget, they charge premium, they provide minimum, and tourists finally figured out the difference. Honesty wins, in both directions. The market didn't punish expensive. The market didn't punish cheap. The market punished dishonest. And that's exactly how it should work. If you want to know where the real value is in Vegas and which properties are actually worth your money, hit subscribe. Drop a comment. Have you tried the locals casinos? Made the switch to downtown? Do you stick with True Luxury and think it's worth it? Where does your Vegas money go now? The comments section is full of people sharing their actual experiences and hidden gems. Check out our video on why Fremont Street is winning while the strip bleeds. Or the things Vegas quietly took away and never gave back. Or how the strip's layoffs prove they're in a crisis they won't admit. Thanks for watching. Vegas split into 3 tiers. Budget chose value, and it's winning. Luxury chose experience, and it's fine. The middle chose neither, and that's why it's dying.